Welcome, guys, to another episode of Blockchain Brew Show. We got the Brew Crew in the house. We're going to cover some news on Hedera Hashgraph. We got some news on XRP. We're going to talk about the markets today. Oh, they are juicy, guys. It's going to be good. I think Trent's got some coffee, and I got something different for the change, and it's going to be a good show. You know, I think about the normal time, what we normally do. Before we get started, though, smash that like. Smash it good, get the camera rumbling. And then, we always got the bell. The bell from a Great Mouse Detective that calls the cat in. Hit the subscribe button in both corners. There we go. And we're going to enjoy the show. And I'll show you what I got today. So, I'm mixing it up. I brought me some Woodinville bourbon.
Let's go. Hey, what proof is that? 90 proof?
Yeah, 90 proof, 45%, 700 milliliters, bourbon whiskey finished in port caskets. If I knew what a port casket was, I would be more impressed. I think it's just a regular casket.
I believe it's a wine cask.
Oh, well, there you go. I learned something new. You know how I got this? I got it when I was working, not in the garbage. Someone left it to me as a Christmas tip.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was a good customer, but yeah, it's I kind of like it. I like how it has stamped Woodinville on the side of it. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be kind of good. And something different, And what type of coffee did you brew up there, buddy? Pal of mine?
I was in a little bit of a rush, so what I did, what's this called? Javi. This is a coffee concentrate. So you put like I don't know, like depends on how much you want. A teaspoon is 80 milligrams of caffeine. And 80 milligrams is like a traditional cup of coffee. So you could go a tablespoon and probably double that. If you're used to drinking a lot of Monsters, which is what I usually do in the morning.
Bad for you.
I know. But, if you're used to that, then, maybe a tablespoon of this will get you 160. And yeah, you just, put a tablespoon in, add some milk, a little bit of, I don't know, sugar-free sweetener, or don't. Just split the milk, which is what I did. And I have it in my Joshua Tree
coffee
mug.
Have you ever seen a monkey tree?
A monkey tree?
Yeah.
I can't say I have.
I can't wait for you to come to Seattle.
What does it look like?
It kind of looks like it's covered. It's you know how like snake has scales that overlap, kind of like this. They kind of overlap. It looks like that all the way down the branches, but it's kind of spaced out with green, and it kind of pokes out. I don't know how to describe it. And it's up and down. The whole thing is like spiky green leaves, but it kind of looks like a Joshua tree that only has like 7 branches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See if you can hear this pop open. There you go. I don't know if you heard that or not. I heard
it. I heard it.
Oh, and my glass. I hope you guys like it. Appreciate it. I did that myself. It's bulletproof glass. Shot it out of a AR-15 round. If anybody needs.
At least it's not bullet bourbon.
Yeah. Am I supposed to fill this all the way up with like?
No.
I'm just kidding. That's what I'll start out with. I don't know. I feel like it could be more. Should I do a little more? Or you think that's good?
That's a solid pour. Are you you like it neat or on the rocks or big ice cube?
I will. You know what? I do like it on the rocks, but you'd have to keep everyone entertained while I go get some rocks. Because I don't keep them where I stream because that's just weird.
Well, hit the like button and drop your comments in the chat and let us know how you like your bourbon if you drink bourbon. Tyler likes his on the rocks. me personally, I'll let you guys in on what I like to do. Even though I have my coffee today, but first Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the month, I won't be drinking any alcohol here on the stream or off the stream for that matter. But if I was drinking bourbon, what I would like to do, my preference would be to pour a couple ounces of the bourbon in the glass neat, and then get the nose, go ahead and sip it neat, get the profile of it there, and then drop one single big ice cube.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I need. I need to get a single big ice cube.
Yeah.
I saw this one on TikTok. It's like this big, and it's the shape of Trump's head. And I was like, dude, this would be great for me.
Yes. Well, give us your taste.
Oh, okay. Mm. Pretty good, man. Very smooth. I can't really tell because it's the only bourbon whiskey that I've ever really got, but wasn't too bad. Actually, honestly, when I first got it, it was so freaking not smooth and fiery. It was very fiery when I first got it. I was like, oh man. I was like, I don't think I could finish it when I first got it. But no, it's after I popped it open, it's really mellowed out. Still a little put a little bit of fire down in there, warms you up pretty quick.
So I follow a girl on TikTok that tried everyone was telling her she has like a whiskey channel, and people were telling her to try Russell's Reserve 10-year. And she tried it and she was not a big fan of it. She didn't really like it. And I forget what she said it tasted like, but she just, it was kind of off-putting to her. And people said, "Hey,
Off-putting.
wait like 2 or 3 weeks now that you've opened the bottle and you've introduced a little bit of oxygen in it. You poured that first pour, let it sit for a couple weeks, come back, try it again. The profile of it is going to change a little bit and you might like it." Sure enough, maybe it's psychosomatic, I don't know. But sure enough, she came back, tried it, and it still wasn't her favorite bourbon, but
It
she
was better.
liked it a lot better. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yes. Well, you want to take us away into some
News?
news, charts, whatever you got for
Sure.
us?
I'm gonna share my screen with you. And we will cover some XRP news because everybody loves them XRP. Everybody loves them XRP. Da 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 da. So this came out at 5 a.m. today. So like 13 hours ago, and it says from Brad Garland House. So you could say from the horse's mouth. Get my mic set up a little better. Today, Ripple announced the acquisition of Hidden Road for $1.25 billion. One of the largest deals ever in crypto space, but the price tag isn't what's most important. It's the deal marks a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for crypto to access the largest and most trusted traditional markets and vice versa. Prime brokers with along other key functions historically managed by banks for the most part, like Hidden Road, have proven themselves as the trusted intermediary for the largest hedge funds, market makers, and OTC desks, quant traders, and more. Ripple has been a customer of Hidden Road for years, and we know their breadth of expertise firsthand, clearing 3 trillion annually for 300 plus of the top financial institutions globally. If anybody knows how to say that, what is it? Their breadth? Just let me know because I would be love to know as we continue. This is the capital of activity that will tap into XRP and XRP's ledger of bread and butter. instant efficiency and scalable at low cost movement of value. Instead of waiting for over 24 hours to settle trades through fiat rails, Hidden Road will be using XRPL for clearing portions of trades and most consequently using RLUSD, which is Ripple stablecoin, as collateral across its prime brokerage services, including cross-asset, crypto, and traditional instruments and trades. With this deal backing Ripple's significant balance sheet, Hidden Road will exponentially expand its capacity to service its pipeline and become the largest non-bank prime broker globally. Ripple and Hidden Road combined are a generational leap forward, ready to truly bring the world's institutions and decentralized finance together. And guys, I mean, that's just telling you that we're not in a bear market. I'm sorry. You know, with all these bullish news coming out, we're just not there yet. I'm like, my camera looks like it's like layering right now. I'm like, what is going on? It totally just, what is going on? Is it all my screens are doing this, or am I just seeing
No.
lines with my eyes?
No,
Weird.
You're looking fine to me. But
I don't know.
I will say though, guys, speaking of a bear market, you know, Tyler didn't want to tell you guys this, but you know, it's a good thing that Bitcoin started to bounce a little bit before the stream because you know, Tyler was getting ready to panic sell all of his bags right here
All of
on the
them.
Blockchain Brew Show.
That's
And
exactly
then
how I
he
would have
was
did it. I would
never
have
gonna
waited.
and then he was never gonna come back and see the Brew Crew ever again.
Not true.
No.
Not true. I love you guys too much. You're like my only friends I have. I would touch you, but you can't feel it. It's like it's a digital relationship only, but it's not because I don't want it to be more.
Yes.
And so there's my first article that we covered with XRP. Let me share another one I have for you. Which I don't know if you guys noticed, Hedera what jumped up in price this yesterday, and it actually is handling the market better today than everything else. Which this is actually pretty big news. So let me explain why. Hedera adopts Chainlink standards for cross-chain interoperability to accelerate ecosystem adoption. Hedera is excited to announce the Chainlink standard for cross-chain interoperability is live on mainnet. Developers can now leverage the Chainlink Cross-Chain Interoperability Protocol, CCIP, if anybody wants to know, to build highly secure apps that can be transferred tokens and messages and initiate actions across multi-chain economy. Chainlink CCIP supports 46 other blockchains and more blockchain ecosystem regularly integrated. Secure blockchain interoperability enables users to liquidity and user interoperability use your tongue twister. Secure blockchain interoperability enables users and liquidity to flow into Hedera and expand our thriving DeFi tokenized RWA ecosystem.
Thought you were gonna say expand arthritis into the RWA ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly. HBAR. Also, another thing too, Chainlink is a governing council member for Hedera. HBAR's foundation joined the Chainlink Scale program last year to provide Hedera developers with enhanced access to Chainlink's high-quality Oracle services. This paved the way for Chainlink data feeds, Chainlink Proof of Reserve, both part of Chainlink Smart Data suite of services, along with CCIP to be live on Hedera, helping to accelerate DeFi and tokenized RWA adoptions. Secure, seamless cross-chain interoperability. CCIP is built for bottle-tested security and is powered by Chainlink Oracle networks. A proven standard of track record of 75 billion plus DeFi TVL at its peak of enabling over 20 trillion on-chain transaction value. That's not very often I use the word 20 trillion on-chain transaction volume. Notably for developers, ERC20 is a default specifications for tokens migrated to and from Hedera. Key to unlocks for developers include access to rapidly growing network and future-proof CCIP has accelerated network effects each week and new integrations are added. So now, guys, Hedera has access to 41 plus other chains with interoperability enabled by CCIP. This is enabled by CCIP's architect, which is designed to be built to be future-proof for developers, where future improvements can continue to be made, including integration of new blockchain networks, the permissionless onboarding of additional tokens by developers while retaining full ownership of their token contracts, and incorporations of new battle-tested approaches to security. Always on infrastructure, CCIP is built with the same time-tested infrastructure as other services that underpin prominent protocols across DeFi with zero downtime, ensuring reliability in cross-chain transactions. And I always think it's funny when people say zero downtime, which is true at this moment, but you never know where the future is going to go, especially with quantum computing coming out and other things. You never know if downtime's ever going to occur. Now, it hasn't, probably won't, but you don't know. Cross-chain token CCT standards. So CCTs are cross-chain native tokens secured by CCIP, the cross-chain token standards. So pretty much, guys, is Hedera can now use their tokens on other chains and be built on the other chains, and it is expanding. Like what Trent was saying with Cardano. Cardano can now use Bitcoin network, but I don't know if you knew this, Trent.
If you don't mind, just for a second, Tyler, because we got a comment on the show. I don't know if you know who James is, but shout out to James. We appreciate the comment and we appreciate you being in here. And so I want to take the time to address what you just asked. We all know that in the YouTube game, I mean, obviously we're new to this, but I mean, I kind of work in YouTube a little bit, but I'm new to doing my own thing. And we all know that in YouTube, in the game of YouTube, titling is like 90% of the game. And I'm not saying that it's clickbait, because I'm trying my best not to do that. I'm trying my best to do this in a way where if we title something, it's you actually get the value of what's in the title somewhere in the stream or somewhere in the video. So I'm going to just share the tweet that I'm talking about real quick, just for James. And that way,
You want to hear Mike? The bottom 69,000. I think we're going to wick to 69K, maybe 70K. I think we still have a couple more days. Tear it, whatever you want to call it. And I have data to back myself up. That's what I think. But we could trade sideways, and right now that 74,000 could be the bottom. I think we might have a little bit more.
So I'm gonna show this ahead of time. Just I'm gonna do this for James because I really appreciate the traffic, and I appreciate anyone being in here right now. So if we come over here to X, this is Donald Trump's post from the posts that come from his Truth Social. Why is that such a hard word to say? Truth Social. That's shared here on his Twitter. And what he said was this would be a perfect time for Fed Chairman Jerome Powell to cut interest rates. He is always late, but he could now change his image and quickly. Energy prices are down, interest rates are down, inflation is down, and even eggs are down 69%, and jobs are up all within 2 months. A big win for America. Cut interest rates, Jerome, and stop playing politics. So for a couple weeks on the show now, we've been getting into the idea of quantitative easing. We've been unpacking that. We've unpacked the idea that in the previous bull runs, an altcoin season is always accompanied by quantitative easing, by a return to money printing. And last week on the show, we showed a tweet from Arthur Hayes. Arthur Hayes, for anyone that might not know, was a founder of an exchange, BitMEX, I believe, in 2014. And he was a crypto billionaire by age 30 because of it. And ever since then, he's been a well-respected analyst, a niche analyst, though. He's not popular for, having a YouTube personality or anything like that. But, you know, the those are kind of the analysts that we really want to hear from, right? Like we're here doing our best to aggregate the resources that we're reading and we're seeing out there in the market and bringing it to you guys while we sip on some good beer or some good bourbon, or in my case today, some coffee. And you know, anyways, Arthur Hayes, he was saying last week that the tariff situation is creating a money gap for the United States. And he was saying that basically, so IDK, who's going to give in, Trump
Russian
Pal or
power
Trump
or
China? Yeah, that's a good point. But regardless, actually, because of that point, James, because of the China pressure, it actually adds to this situation. And the reason why is that with tariffs, the United States is like a kid on a playground that's trading toys with other kids. I said this last week, but I'm just going to go back and do it because I appreciate the comment. Like I said, so the U.S. like a kid on a playground, and the kid is trading toys with other kids. Well, the U.S. is the kid that is now not making as much money, and this is what Trump was trying to correct. The U.S. is making less money from other kids selling their toys than he is from selling his own toys on the playground. And so this is, like a picture of the international trade situation. And this creates a money gap. And historically, the U.S. has borrowed money, um, and other nations are very willing to do that because they're buying U.S. treasuries, and so they're lending the money. That money is propping up the U.S. treasuries that those other kids on the playground are buying, and it's all a big artificially inflated fake system that everybody is propping up. But what happens when Trump introduced the tariff is that now the other kids on the playground, the other nations, are not as quick to let us borrow money. So it creates a money gap. This is what Arthur Hayes was saying, and the money gap. His point, Arthur Hayes' point, was that the only way for the Fed to course correct this is to turn the money printer back on, which we know is a good thing. I mean, it's a bad thing for us as a nation, but it's a good thing for risk on assets in the short term. It means, like I said, quantitative easing or money printing is correlated with altcoin seasons. Not that I'm saying, if we didn't print money, you wouldn't still get an altcoin season. I believe that you would, but I have to admit, I don't think you would get as big of an altcoin season. 2021 came with the money printing or the quantitative easing of COVID. And honestly, in a way, we kind of need it to happen to get the the kind of green candles that we want to see. And anyways, the reason I titled Trump Calls the Bottom is a play on this tweet where Trump is saying, hey, rate cuts have to come soon. And rate cuts, the change in economic policy, the shift toward quantitative easing is actually the thing that calls the bottom. So hope that makes sense. And
Well, my short answer is that I think Powell's going to cave first. I think rate cuts will be cut in May. I think China will probably follow in June. And what was the other one? I think that was it. I think Powell's going to go first. Then comes China. And Trump's ain't going to quit, man, because he's waited 20, 30, 40 years for this. He's talked about tariffs. He's always talked about tariffs. He said it's a beautiful thing. And you think he's going to cave?
The most beautiful word in the English language.
I think it. I think it probably will be. But I do think that
I hope so.
it might. He's not going to give up on. He's waited this for like 30 years. He's not going to flip on 2 days,
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys saw, like, in Europe, like, they offered a 0-0 tariff, but now he's kind of like, well, hold your horses. You guys are not the first ones to show up to make a deal. Number two, he would like tariffs, but he also wants 0-0, but he wants it to be an equal playing field, but he wants to help the farmers out. He said, we can do that, but we want to be able to sell our farmers stuff, food in your country, because they're like, okay, we'll do tariffs, but we don't want to sell your food products. And he's like, no. We buy your food products. You should buy our food products, or we should be, I don't even know if to say buy, but be allowed to sell it in other countries.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a balancing act. Like, I don't like everything that the guy does, but there is a situation with trade. Like I said, it's a money gap, and the tariffs are what he believes will correct that money gap.
Well, it's like going on OfferUp or Craigslist, or going to buy a new car at the dealership. You don't want to get lowball, but at the same time, you got to start someplace and kind of work your way up. And that's how Trump goes after. He lowballs you in the knees like that. That's how low he starts, because he knows he's going to come up. But if you settle for the knees, he's like, well, frick, I'll take that. That was a good hit. I didn't have to hit the face. And so that's kind of the way he kind of operates. So it's not necessarily, like Trent said, the nice way of doing things, but as a business mindset, it's a kind of cutthroat. And man, the U.S. is hurting so bad. We almost have nothing to lose, because if we didn't do tariffs, we were putting so much money. We would still exist, but we would be like the bottom of the food chain. Like, we can't have that. Something had to break. And I do believe we might as well take advantage of it. Now, it's actually become a bonus, because so many countries have become dependent on the U.S. and buying their crappy deals, that now they can't survive without us buying the crappy deals, because they're making so much money off us. They don't know how to make up that giant gap difference in their country. So we kind of have them by the shorts in a little bit. And like Trump is saying, we're making an average of $2 billion a day on tariffs right now. Plus the $4 billion that Doge is just
has uncovered.
Uncovered a day, including weekends. But you think about it, like $4 billion they're finding that keeps them going out is actually a net of $8 billion, because it's $4 billion you don't spend, and then you get to keep that $4 billion, so you get an $8 billion. So now with the $2 billion we're spending on tariffs, it's really another $4 billion. So we're really the net difference of $12 billion currently a day. That's a lot. That's 1,000 millions in each billion.
Yeah. There's a scandal at a local Marine base where I live, and it's a Marine Corps logistics base, and basically, well, I'm not gonna say what happened, but anyways, someone was like, hey, this should get reported to Doge.
Dude, my work should be reported to Doge. There's so much laziness lying around. I'm crazy, especially the management. Get rid of the managers. You guys out there watching managers, I love you. Love. It's a business.
Hey, we love our managers in the Brew Crew, but
I don't need a manager to do my job. I'll still show up at work at this time and go out and get my shit done. Just be real. Hey, you want to see what I found today in the garbage?
Yeah, let's do it. We've already kind of, went off the
Yeah.
beaten path.
You
So.
guys are gonna love this, man. Check it out. I found this today around customer 382.
What
JG.
up, JG? Good to
What up,
see you.
JG? So this is what I found, Trent. Da, 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 da. In the package, it's Charmin. Yeah, 36, 9 rolls, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Because, COVID, this stuff was worth gold, and we got people throwing this stuff out, and I found it in the garbage. Yeah. That's worth money, G.
Hey, I have a COVID toilet paper story for you, and then we'll get into the charts, I promise. In 2020, the week before toilet paper flew off the shelves, my dog, not my puppy, but he's 8
Hey,
years old now.
Hey,
Yeah.
JG, I'm gonna respond to JG real fast. Okay, JG.
I
Funny
thought you were
story.
in the chat.
Funny story about finding ETH, in the trash. One of my main things I look for are laptops. And I found this 2012 laptop in the garbage. Alienware, bro. Alienware. And I was like, dude, nice. This is right at the time Bitcoin is popular. This type of
Yeah,
laptop.
was somebody mining on that?
This type of laptop would keep it on there, man. Frickin' brought it home.
They probably
Locked.
wrote their private
Dude,
keys
it was
in a notepad on the
dude,
computer.
exactly. That's what they do. They hide the freaking passwords in the notepad. Dude, it was locked, bro. So I was like, I took it to this computer guy down the street. Dude didn't speak any English at all. But I was like, hey, no work. And the guy, dude, I don't know what he did, but he opened it up and unlocked it. I was like, yeah. And I started dinking around. I did not find any ETH, unfortunately. But my wife told me there was a bunch of nudes on there, so it's scarred for life. Yeah, but I'm still looking for those laptops. I will find one.
Now, when she told you that, you definitely said, "Throw it away," right?
Yeah, throw it away.
Yeah.
Throw that laptop out of here. It does not belong in this house. Well, it's okay. We just move on. Though it's funny though, it actually belonged to this woman, and she had a master thesis on there of working AI robotics, and like we dabbled through it, dude.
Dang.
Freaking wizard smart. I was like, dude, this is crazy. I was like, I could go to school and just copy and paste her stuff and run it through ChatGPT. Tweak this a little bit.
Well, you want to one man's trash? Just load it up, eat it for. Honestly, I bought ETH in 2021 at $1,700. So when you put it like that,
One time at band camp.
that's like, dude, I don't hate that. I don't hate that move at all, and I don't hate ETH either.
ETH's coming back, guys. It
is.
is. If you look at a market cipher, there's so much manipulation on ETH because they're trying to get people to like maximum pain. And I think they finally reached it. And I was buying ETH at $900 in the bear market. So it's still,
yeah,
I'm still technically up if I didn't spend it on NFTs.
you beat me. I picked up a little bit at just under $1,100 in the bear market. And I stacked up a few ETH, and then what I ended up doing was I actually, as the price went up to like, I started scaling out of my ETH between $2,000 and $3,500 or so, and I scaled out of it over time and got into like Render and Ondo. So, a few ETH worth of Render and Ondo. I mean, hey, I think I made a pretty good move there.
You know what? I sold I used 3 credit cards, about $15,000 each on Ethereum when it was $900, $1,300.
Dang.
Yeah, it was a terrible decision. I spent all in NFTs that went to zero. Live and learn. Don't use credit cards to buy crypto. I don't care what anybody else says. Not great.
You want to head into some charts? I'm just responding in the comments right now.
I'm reading. I'll share my screen. I'm reading. GJ's ETH. Pulling it up right now. I'm gonna move it from a different screen because I don't like looking at it right there. It's like tweaking my neck. Well, let's see what we got for Ethereum. You want 5 to 7% the next hour using leverage on that?
In the next hours, I think he means like, through the evening into the morning.
Yeah. Take a look at it. Oh, there's some manipulation right there. What Market Cypher's saying. Well, still in the money flow going out. The VWAP hasn't fully curved up yet on the 4-hour with possible still movement to the down. Hasn't curved up. It's getting there though. You could say Mac, Inca wave, possibly on momentum. Then we might be able to do like another paintbrush.
I mean,
right
that's
here.
bullish divergence
We
so
might
far.
go like this, kind of where the freaking momentum kind of runs a line like that. We go in the upside. There is some bullish divergence if the hump can close.
Right.
If the hump can close, we'll get.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's how it is. It's not Wednesday, but let's change time frames. Get a little bit better shot. Playing around with my stuff. Almost looks like a double bottom.
Yeah, but a slightly higher.
But
Again,
we're still deep in the red, man. Usually try. What I've noticed is like the last third of the wave to the third of the wave green is usually when we start moving up. It's hard to say like if this is the end of the wave because we kind of have like this weird like outward movement kind of going on.
yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a bowl.
Are you on the 1 hour?
Yeah, I'm on the 1 hour.
Let me see the daily.
Puke. Actually, it might be curving over, and that's really freakishly oversold now.
But let me see the daily if you don't mind.
You want to see the daily? I just drew a nice yellow line for you guys. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the daily still hasn't fully curved. Hasn't fully finished its hump. Like you can see right here, it finished its hump, made a little tiny green dot, almost like a fake out, and then dumped.
Yeah, the TD sequential.
And this
which,
is like a runaway train right here. I think it's going to take a couple tries before we can break up. Sorry, Chad, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're good. The TD sequential, which is it's a free indicator on TradingView, but basically the theory is that you don't really get more than 9 candles in a row in any direction. I mean, you start counting these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got like 8 right now. I mean, you've
but
got to
we're
get
in like
some kind of relief rally.
I don't know. Look at this bearish wave though. It just hasn't really ended and kind of keeps coming down. Also, the SR is saying that bulls have a negative. I don't know if you guys can see this 3 or not, but it's a -3 right now with a -11 saying the bears are still, or not -11 saying the bears are controlling. We go -1, -4, -3 with this oscillator wave still hasn't clipped itself yet. It's at 82 to 70, so it's 4 points off with the money flow still leaving. And the VWAP is actually starting to curve slightly upwards. I don't know if you guys can catch that or not, but I think it'll need a strong break up, Trent. Like a sharp, I'm trying to find like a sharp one, like right over here, it was a sharp break up, though even still it wasn't enough to flip bullish. Here's the money flow being green.
Go back to the last time that that we saw a trend reversal to the upside. Like there's a lot of green over on the left side of your screen. Yeah. So, the thing is we can definitely start to trend
like right here. You can see where it flipped red to green.
Yeah.
I pointed at it with my finger. Right there, guys. Right there. You guys
Yeah.
can't see it. Right in
We
this
can definitely
area.
start to trend sideways and then break up. But let us know any other thoughts you have. Let us know real quick. I'm gonna pull up ETH versus Bitcoin and then share my
Thick in the
screen.
red. Thick in the red. I think we could be sideways for, like I told you guys, I think some sideways action.
Yeah. ETH.
One day the daily. See, this is what I think. See, we could stop, and Trent pointed this out yesterday. We could stop in this area right here, but I think our main area will probably be like right around here. So I think we just have a little. That's a really bad line. There's a little bit better, right here. I think we have a little bit more to go. That's just my opinion. It'll possibly trade sideways.
Got you. I'm gonna
Pull
pop
chart.
my
Yep,
chart on the
got it.
screen real quick. Add
Dude, I
state.
totally forgot
So
about gummies. Thank
you
you,
know,
Hal, for bringing this to the front of my poor brain when I thought it was gone forever.
dude, look at how low the RSI comes down here. Like, it's oversold. And this is on the daily chart. I'm going to come over to the 3-day chart, and again, what do they say? The higher the time frame, the more consequential the data is, right? You come over here to the 3-day chart, and again, the RSI is down here at 25. Like, it's just too oversold. Um, sure, it can always go down further. Just when you think it can't go down anymore, it can.
And then Trump
Um,
announced his 104% tariffs on China.
but but that's part of my thing. Like, Trump announced a
Digibite?
104% tariffs on China, and then Bitcoin still can't manage to break the previous high at 73.9 or so, which was the top of the bull flag. It was the beginning of the bull flag back in March of
Digibite.
2024.
I totally forgot about Digibite. We got to request Trent for Digibite.
And so, I don't know, man. It's Digibyte.
Yeah. I'm going to pull
Go,
up Digibite right
yeah,
now. I
pull it
haven't.
up on CoinMarketCap while I finish my
Coin
thought.
Market Cap. I ain't pulling up
Or
Coin Market Cap.
Digibyte. I don't even know what Digibyte is, to be honest. Is it tracked on TradingView or what?
I think it's similar to Bitcoin. I think it's 20 instead of 21 million, it's 21 billion.
Oh yeah.
I think that's all it is. If you could correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Bet nerd.
Um
Bet nerd.
and welcome to the chat, by the way. Welcome to the Brew Crew. But I hear what you're saying, JG, but if it does, it's going to be a wick that's bought up really quickly because it's just
Digibite.
too oversold it's too oversold to sustain any more of a downtrend. If we if even if we were in a bear market, this is the kind of thing on the RSI that would need to get a relief rally up here before it comes back down. So I don't know, guys. It's just you're on the 3-day chart and you're this low on the RSI. Let's look at the weekly real quick. Even on the weekly, it's coming down to 30 right here. So I mean it's just way oversold. Let
When
me
you're
let me
when
pull
you're
up the EMAs and the Bollinger Bands just real quick.
when you're done, I'll throw up Digibite.
Guys, look at where the 21 EMA is coming in. And I'm no expert yet, but look, the 21 EMA, which is this white line right here, not the horizontal white line at the point of control, but the squiggly white line. It's the 21 week exponential moving average. when you're this far away, like if we were moving to the upside, I would be saying the same thing. Uh, when you're this far away from the 21 EMA, and this is on the weekly, again, the higher the time frame, the more significant the data. We will come back to test this 21 EMA. Right now, it's sitting at $2,400. You know, if we're doing that, if we're coming back to, and again, it can move sideways and this white line will continue to come down. So I'm not saying it has to meet the white line at $2,400, but let's just use where it is right now, and then let's come over to the daily chart. This is a little bit of how I cross reference my time frames. Um, the daily chart for ETH to go back to $2,400 means that you're flipping the 21 EMA on the daily, you're flipping the 50 EMA, you're flipping the 100 EMA, and then you're coming up to test the 200 to see if you'll break it or not. Um, by that point, let's go to the 4 hour. By that point, you will have really broken the 200 EMA on the 4 hour, which is a big sign. That this is, in my opinion, a great way to use EMAs. That when the 200 is sitting, which is the red line here, when the 200 is sitting on top of your EMA band, a break above the 200 EMA on any time frame is a sign of a reversal. And so to get back to $2,400 for ETH, we've got to do some serious correction to the upside. And for the weekly, just to get back to the 21, which it's going to do. Look what happened up here. Right? We were up here, it came back to the 21. We were up here, it came back to the 21. We were up here, it came back to the 21. Look what it does in a downtrend when you break below it. We had this range below it right here. It came back to the 21 and broke above even. Look at this downtrend over here. This one, we would be feeling just as bearish about that downtrend right there. And actually, the weekly chart, look, this was bear market. And look what happens. We come back to this 21 EMA. Man, you made a point earlier, Tyler, about how this was
This Digibyte chart, it's really got my ears perked. There's so much going on. I can't wait to get into it.
Go for it.
No, it's okay. What you bring up? Bring up the point, and then I'll work over.
You made a point earlier about how it's really healthy that we are doing this right now when we're doing it, and by doing, sorry, let me just speak more clearly.
Well, I mean,
by doing this, I mean the price dip that we're experiencing. And
well, because if you look on the left side of your screen, look how fast we ran up. Oh, that's on ETH. Well, regardless, almost the same point is with. It's gonna mess me up without not looking. You should go to the Bitcoin chart real fast.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Let me just hide my drawings and hide my indicators as well.
It says ETH to USD.
Right all. No, I'm Bitcoin USD. Oh wait, let me share this tab instead. Sorry.
There you go. All right, now go to the daily or weekly.
Yes.
So, like you can see on this chart, look at all that green. Those are all weekly candles. We ran up. Now, I was pointing out earlier to Trent that if we did not get a weekly correction, the bull run would be over. It would be done. It would have been toast. We would not have made it to November. When I made it to summer, it would have been done. And I think that this correction, saying that the bull run's still on, I think it's just taking a little bit of time. And once we hit down to where we bottomed out, I think, like I said, I think we'll bottom out around 70K. That gives us the breathing space to be able to hit that higher high. I'm thinking 120 to, I said 140 to 180 for Bitcoin. That's my price target, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, guys, We're about on a 30% dip right here, which is normal in a bull market. Number one. Number two, look at what happened in 2021. Right? We spent all this time in the 2020, 2021 bull run where we ran up and we didn't get a really big correction. Right here, let me bring out the measurement. Right here we came down that one was pretty good. We were also that one wasn't bad. It was quick though. But in my mind, the reason we had to do this over here wick to wick, it's like 59%. Like
What is going on with this digibite? As more I get into it, there's more my eyes all like seeing patterns and stuff.
The reason we had to do this right here in May of 21 is because we didn't get this over here, right? It's the old adage that corrections are like a controlled burn in a forest where you have to burn away, you have to burn up all of the brush that's posing a fire hazard so that you don't get a full-on wildfire, right?
I have a feeling that everything from this cycle happened earlier.
Go ahead and hit us with some digibite.
All right,
Give the people what they want.
Do you have my screen sharing?
Yes.
Okay. So, dude, there's so much crazy stuff I see right now. Okay, first off, we got this massive freaking triangle thing going on right here. Okay, there we go. On the daily time frame, I mean, this is like, I don't know, like 6 months of time, maybe 6 months, 3 months of time, and then you go in like the 4 hour. Okay, well, first you see how we get this leg up, and then we kind of get this red dot, and we drop down. We get a leg up, we got a red dot, we kind of drop down. We got another leg up, we got this dot, we kind of drop down a little bit, and then we got green dot, and we got another red dot. Let's see if I can zoom in on it so you can see it better. Another little red dot right here. Now I'm thinking we might drop down and then be able to break out this bigger triangle, then we could possibly take off. Now we do have this little interesting thing on the bottom right down here. We have the oscillator wave curving over, another curving over, creating the divergence, and then we have another one right here, which is signaling this breakup. At the same time, on the opposite side, we have the movement pushing us to the downside, and it's like literally switching off and on, off and on. And I think, yes, we have a red dot. I don't think we'll break below this smaller triangle, but we shall see. Also, that note, another great tool is Market Cipher, just because it helps you see things. Like you see this red dot up here in the larger time frame. It also significance with this blue wave right here. If you would have been able to sell that, you would have hit your top and boom, 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 down. And you could have rode that all the way down till you start getting green dots down here. As well as a green dot tells you the bulls are moving. And you could see that with the bullish trend wave is also kind of going in your favor right here. If I could try to blow it up, it won't let me put my wheel on, but you could see the wave right here. It's all lit up. It's because it's bullish. So yes, we have a red dot, but like I said, we could hit it 1, 2, 3, and then we'll shoot up. Also, if we go into the 4 hour, this whole chart's blowing up all over the place. And like how I showed you the bigger time frame of things, I just zoomed it in on the 4 hour. So we went from the daily to the 4 hour. And I went in the little triangle. You can see how we got the red dot up here. We drop down like a red dot right here. We also have an anchor wave, trigger wave saying that we are moving to the downside. Now, like I said before, with that red dot, I do believe we might hit the bottom of this triangle. Maybe we'll wick below it, but I think we'll ultimately break up and break out of this triangle pretty soon. Now, like you said, you are correct. It is following some sort of trend line. Now, I think this actually will probably break out bullish, and that's just me. But it's interesting to see how well you could also have traded Digibite on using Market Cipher. I mean, you got this red dot. If you wanted to put a short end right there, boom, you could have traded that sucker all the way to the bottom. Got the green dots, could have traded all the way back up. I mean, these waves are beautiful. Oh, here's another significant thing I was telling you about earlier. When you get the bullish momentum, so how these green dots occur is when one light up, just a single line out of these lines, you get a triangle representing a reversal of the previous pattern. So that would have been this red wave right here. Also, you can see this yellow X represents manipulation. They didn't have enough sell pressure to even push it any below this line, which is another reason why I don't think it will break much lower. Then when a green dot signifies all 5 lines lit up bullish. As you could tell, they all lit up right here on this green dot. You could have put a long trade in, and boom, you could have rode that sucker up beautifully until you got this red dot. And then you could even waited, I don't know where we are, 4 hours. You could have waited probably like 2 days and almost sold the top right here before you got your red X to say time to get out, as you could see the money flow start moving down. So I think there is some good stuff here for DigiByte. Now I don't really know what it is because I think it's just like a derivative of Bitcoin, but it does to me look like a sexy chart. I like this chart. So there is some of my technical analysis.
Is this your Woodinville bourbon talking?
Yeah, maybe. I don't really feel as much. You know, I was also looking at the 4 hour. You remember I was talking about the 4 hour? If this is bouncing off this trend line like repeatedly, it just loves following this trend line. I do think in the next, I don't know, how many lines do you think that is, Trent? Like without my measuring tool. 1 hour, it's the 4. So this is probably, I don't know, like 5-6 hours. I think we will probably bottom out before we start moving to the upside, as well as you could get the wave right here, this beautiful blue oscillator wave getting ready to turn over, and we are still in the money flow, and the VWAP is still saying like we're so it can move up. And as you can see, like right here to right here, it's like losing the momentum. It's being pushed to the upside.
Nice.
Tap 200 crypto bubbles. I love my crypto bubbles. I introduced Trent to crypto bubbles. Watch, I don't know if I did or not, but it's beautiful.
You did. I'm looking for something right now. Just go ahead and keep us entertained real quick. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just looking at this beautiful chart. Thank you for sharing with this, Vet. It is lovely. Oh, goodness. Why is my thing locked again? I hate when that keeps getting that weird locked. How do I unlock this dang thing? It doesn't really matter. Regardless, we got some manipulation going on Bitcoin on the 12-hour. Trying to push us down to those lower time frames. I'm going the 24-minute. Look at that, guys. That's why we were. What is going on with my chart? Something's weird. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. Why is my stuff all funky? Bitcoin. I'm on the percentages. How did I get into percentages? Why is DigiByte still here?
Okay.
That's happened to me before. I'm trying to remember how I fixed it.
Sorry, what was it? I just
I locked myself on my chart.
The future to find out the next big thing on Cardano, and
there we go. I fixed it. I knew something funky was going on. It was on percentages. Yeah, Trent, like manipulation. Yes, I was on Bitcoin, pushing us down. Happened, been all day, man. By the way, guys, I put a short in on Bitcoin right here, right before this red dot, because I was watching this oscillator wave curve over on this red dot, and this green dot almost scared me out of it. But I was like, dude, I think we're curving over. I think we'll flick another red dot on. So, dude, I literally put a short in right here, and I rode it all the way down to right here, and I took out 50%. I took out another 20% right here, and I think I ended up closing my trade right here. But so I could have caught a little bit more. But, you know, I didn't see the red X's coming. I was like, man, we're oversold. Everything's looking good. We're in the red money flow. It was hard to tell. I was at work, but I was like, dude, profit's profit. Take it and run.
I think the Book of Deuteronomy says something about you should be stoned if you short Bitcoin or something like that.
Well, I like to think about it as running a business. Sometimes you have to be cutthroat and make money.
No, this is true. No shade. I mean, like honestly, well, number one, it's dumb, right? When people say
Hey, you
that.
can throw a shade. I'm an XRP guy. I've been taking it
Well,
for years.
as if little old you or me are going to affect the Bitcoin price any, Um, now herd mentality, I mean market psychology, when we're all manipulated together at once, to panic sell, then yeah. But other than that, I mean, guys, you can that's the beauty of trading is you can price, up or down, you can make money. Um I'm gonna go ahead and show our Cardano spotlight real quick. We've been going for an hour. We're grateful for everyone that's hopped onto the stream, and we want to respect everyone's time too. I mean, not that you don't have the freedom to just hop off. However, uh, if you want to hear our last segment here for the day, um, I'm going to come over here to Tap Tools. I'm going to share
And
this screen.
tell us about your
And,
Cardano.
I pointed this out. I started to point this out the other day, but we have a new AI token on Cardano, Farm Roll. The ticker is Roll, and it's an AI agent launchpad, questing platform fueling social fi and on-chain growth, gamified quests, rewards, and real-world assets, all powered by Roll, bridging AI growth and engagement in one ecosystem. So, um, this looks like somebody's AI generated comment, doesn't it? Well, no, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. Someone commented, looks like Roll is on the rise. AI and gamification in a single package. SocialFi just got a turbo boost. If you're not in the game, you're missing out on the future of engagement. Let's see how these quests play out in real world scenarios. Keep your eyes peeled, folks. Anyways, come over here to the official Twitter page, and we can see that.
That looks like a very small token.
Yeah, right. But I mean, those, if you
That's the 100Xer right there.
exactly,
You
exactly.
sh-
I mean, if you're okay throwing $200 or $300 at a token, then could pop. And hey, a lot of people out there do this sort of thing uh, without ever trading leverage at all. They, a lot of people hunt small tokens, sell them when they pop, and then they play a lot of people like to play the trading game that way. Same thing with the meme coin finders, the meme coin hunters out there. Um, I'm not really into that. I kind of prefer to just trade, but I know you've dabbled.
in what?
Meme hunting.
Oh, yes, I have, and it's fantastic. Everybody should do it. It's the best gambling you've ever not done.
uh,
No.
um, man, just yesterday, um, someone sharing their chart right here on Roll.
Ready, set, let's roll. Ready, set, let's ride. Dun, dun, dun. You ever heard
What
that
a
song?
no.
Chase Rice. Oh my gosh.
What a green candle right there on the 4 hour.
You looking at me?
Huh? Oh,
Oh.
you can't you can't see what I'm.
No, I can't see. I was like, what are you
Oh
looking
yeah,
at?
no, it's right here. Yeah, this one.
I like the Nike pig right there. He's all into it.
Oh yeah.
He's pumping something. Bullish, right? That's bullish, I think. That candle, I'm not gonna lie, looks kind of not sustainable and a little scammy.
Hey, that pig has some lotion sitting around somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Regular pig in the blanket.
Anyways, let's
Oh, I
find out
forgot to
what the
put something
market
else
cap
on
on this
Digibyte.
thing is. Uh,
I actually believe Pepe could be holding the line fed because all memes are like at an all-time low.
oh
They
yeah.
can't go any lower. Like, any other the alts can, but like the meme coins have been getting killed.
Farm roll.
Yeah, these alts still look like they could bleed down. I'm trying to figure out when I want to buy into them. I want to buy some SWE, guys. Get some SWE on the dippy dip.
Dude, is this right?
What?
A $5,000 market cap?
Yeah, it's too low for me.
Yeah.
Too low for me.
No, that's
You're supposed to laugh.
that just looks like it's on one dex, but anyways. Farm roll.
Hey,
Link
literally looked at who I
tree.
wanted to buy. I'm gonna buy SWE, I think, today. It's in the price range I want. Technically, I wanted to kind of pick up SWE between the 150 to 174 range, but I could take it at 188. I think it's gonna do fine. I'd be upset if I didn't buy it now when I was trying to wait for 10 cents to catch the bottom that almost nobody ever catches, when I think SWE is probably going to go high.
I don't know, guys. Look at this. Iagon partnership with FarmRoll. We're excited to kickstart our collaboration with Iagon Official.
You
The
were just talking
strategic,
about Iagon yesterday or
yeah,
last week.
right. The strategic partnership begins with the distribution of roll to the Iagon LSPO event, along with exclusive perks for Iagon holders on our platform. I don't know. Like, this is worth throwing something at. Like, Iagon is the leading AI DeepIn project on Cardano, and Iagon is, couple $100 million market cap. So, I mean, maybe not after this last dip, but it's far and away, one of the biggest things on Cardano. Iagon is, and this partnership to me says that that farm roll is worth a gamble on. But anyways, that's what I got. What do you any other thoughts before you want to sign us off? Oh, I just took you off stage. Sorry.
That's
You
okay. I'm
you got
still here.
any other thoughts before you want to sign us off?
I'm just looking at some Pepe because Bet was talking about it. I see a flip flop, flip flop, flip flop, and it should have bounced up. We have manipulation trying to push it down. Man, dude, Pepe is really trying to hold that line. It, I really don't want to see it break that line because there's not a lot of support holding it up. I'll show you. Right, well, that'll be my last thing, and then I'll show you. Well, no, I'll be done. And here's your Pepe chart on the daily, and like this is where we're at, and it's like at this wick right below this line right here. So you have to break up through a lot of buy pressure, and this is the only little support you got left. So you're back to a bunch of zeros, 1, 2.
Yeah.
So I just threw my camera with my foot. It is looking
I
how
do
can I
want to
say,
say, anyone that's
low.
still in here that's been engaging with us in the comments, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, this is our humble our humble request. It would help us out greatly if you subscribe, and we're grateful for you being here. Anyways, go ahead, Tyler.
Oh, that's just it. I was just gonna point out, like, Pepe could be a really good buy. It's also like at the trend line knocking on devil's door on life support. Well, I hope it comes back. Funny thing is I bought Pepe like way over here, and I sold it and got rug pulled. So it was terrible thing that happened. Regardless,
It happens to the best of us, except for those of us that don't really buy meme coins.
you know what I say, Trent? Smash that like button. Rock that camera. Try to knock it over again. Hit the bell to subscribe. It's in one of these corners over here. And thank you for joining us again on another Blockchain and Brew show. Welcome to the Brew Crew. We really appreciate everybody, like Trent said, engaging with us tonight. It was a blast. I'm glad we got to look at other charts than just Bitcoin and ETH, and it was fun to do a deep dive on everything. So thank you very much.
Until the next episode of the Blockchain Brew Show.
Dab out.
Time.